Welcome to the Pelican Sports Corner. We got a great show for the day. We're going to be talking about how Dejounte Murray's leadership is stabilizing his team. We're also going to be talking about how the lack of tenacity from the Pelicans players are causing problems when it comes to the Pelicans playing good teams. We got a lot more of that on the Pelican Sports Corner.
No little lights up, Pelicans fly high from the Crescent City. Watch us touch the sky, Zion in the paint, thunder when it ride. Poodle with the splash, got that fire in his eye. Trey Murphy from deep, let it rain, let it pour. Herb and Jose locking down every floor. New blood coming, Fizz, PV, Queen. Pelicans United, we chasing that dream. Big Z breaking rim, crowd going wild. Power in the lane, got defenders in denial. Hulu with the handles, crossing up the scene. Buckets from the arc, keep the scoreboard clean. Trade with the wingspan, shooting with the breeze. Catching alley oops, bring opponents to their knees. Herb Jones clamps, never giving up an inch. Jose with the steel, crowd jumping out the bench. Throw the lights up, Pelican fly high from the Crescent City.
Welcome in, Pelicans fans. You already know what it is, man. Pels fans. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. If you are subscribed, I appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button, man. As always, man, we back. Let's get it in. Look, Dejounte Murray's presence on this Pelicans team is not only needed, it's welcome. Dejounte Murray has came in and lit a fire under this Pelicans team. He has came in and stabilized and guided this Pelicans team in a leadership role in a way that this team has been missing from the point guard position. Early on, we talked about how Jeremiah Fizz was an attack first point guard. He rarely looks for the assist. He rarely looks to move the ball. He's just attack. And that's a part of his game that has to grow. Well, Dejounte Murray is the opposite. He picks his spots. He knows when to attack. He knows when to shoot. He knows when to pass. And that leadership IQ from him on the floor has helped this Pelicans team when winning these last 4 games. They just dropped one against the Clippers, but winning the past 4 straight, it really has helped him, even though he only played in 3 of them. His leadership is stabilizing the offense, making the right pass, making the right play, moving the ball, guiding the team across the court. Dejounte Murray is what this, not only Jeremiah Fizz needs to guide him, but it's what this team needs. This team needs a floor general. It needs somebody who can see the floor. It needs somebody who can man up defensively and make sure everybody is being held accountable. Like, his tenacity on defense is just like his tenacity on offense. Attack. And it's infectious. The problem with it is the Pelicans defensive players is not on his level when it comes to defense outside of Herb Jones. They make too many miscues, too many mishaps, and they lack the IQ at this point to actually play stingy defense. Defense is a want to, it's an attitude, it's a lifestyle. It's something you have to have in you. You can't just wake up in the morning and say, I might just play defense. But you also got to understand what the other team's offense is trying to do to you in order to maintain the paint, maintain these easy looks that the Pelicans are giving up. The Pelicans need to get defensive players that can shoot the 3. This is where they fall short when it comes to playing better teams like the Clippers or any team in the West or any team in the East that's playoff bound or in playoff contention. This is where they struggle the most, because playing defense is one thing, but knocking down your shots on the other end is basically something whole entirely different. The problem with it is, if you look at the halftime score last night, it was like 70-76. Nobody was playing defense. The Clippers are the Pelicans. The problem with it is, it's okay for the Clippers to play that style of basketball because they got the shooters to go along with that type of offense that they're playing, whether they're playing defense or not. And they got a superstar in Kawhi Leonard who can carry their team. The Pelicans don't have a superstar. So I get Zion was out, but at the same time, we have to understand Zion is not a great defender either. So you need great defenders to stabilize this team, to play defense, to play stingy, sticky defense, so that the Pelicans can be in the win column more than the loss column. And the only way to do that is to find players that are willing defenders. Now, they got serviceable defenders, but they don't have any willing defenders, guys who pride themselves on defense, but can also be a bucket. Now, they're very young, so they're coming along. But at some point, you got to stop making excuses about being young. Young should be a reason you be athletic enough to play sticky defense, because you have young legs, you have fresh legs. So we got to get to a point where they have to get to a point where they're matching Dejounte Murray's intensity. The guy is a winner. He wants to win. He wants to, he's been coached right. He comes from the Spurs system. Like, once Pop get a hold of you, there's a certain level of expectation that you have to maintain. And he's rising to the occasion. Now he needs his teammates to do the same. And I think that's what the Pelicans are missing. Like, too often, the guys who should be bringing this team along are not. But having Dejounte Murray on this team past this season may be a higher priority than you think, because he's still young himself, but at the same time, he can guide a Jeremiah Fierce into being a true point guard, knowing how to pick his spots, when to turn up and when not to. And I think for the next coach, they're going to have to seriously consider having him stay another year or two before they move on from him. That's just my opinion. Because it's clearly infectious, his attitude and his play when he's on the court. His ability to see the floor, something I asked that Jeremiah grows into. Seeing the whole floor. There's a moment in the Clippers game last night where Kawhi's backing down a Pelicans player and Dejounte just strips him. Because he's paying attention to what's going on. He's cerebral like that, to where he's not only worried about his man, but he's paying attention to other guys' man. Only a veteran can see that. When Kawhi Leonard is getting loose and lazy with the basketball. That comes with age, that also comes with experience. So when Dejounte Murray is on the court, the Pelicans look like a functional team. It don't look hard. It looks very, very easy and fluid. And I think if he continues to ball like that and Trey continues to come along with Queen and Fierce and Zion continues to stay healthy, I think they'll have something. But they still have to get pieces around those guys. They are not going to, they're not going to win anything themselves. They still need those guys who maximize their play in their roles. Bryce McGowens is coming along. He looks like a player that's going to be a nice rotational piece. He looks like a player who's going to be a nice rotational piece moving forward. We'll see. So the Pelicans, like I said, they're in a state of figuring out, a state of trying to find who is going to carry us to where we want to be. And I think they got some cogs on the roster. They just don't have the roster to compete with the dogs of the West. Because the West, the guys in the West, they got not only the cogs, the superstars, but they also got the rotational pieces to make sure that when their stars are on the bench, that they maintain the level of play and intensity to win games until their stars get back on the floor. So, that being said, I think Dejounte Murray is playing himself into a few more years with this team. That's just my opinion. Now, I could be wrong because we don't know what Joe Dumars and Troy Weavers are thinking. They haven't really spoke much, so we don't know. But I think as of now, you see a difference when it comes to Dejounte Murray playing. You see a difference. You see how the team focuses, how the attention to detail is different, how the intensity level is different when he's on the court. I like that from Dejounte Murray. Shout out to Dejounte Murray. But on to something that leads directly into this topic, the defense. The defense has to get better for the New Orleans Pelicans. And I'm not talking about scheme. I'm not talking about team defense. I'm talking about individual people on the floor on a night-to-night basis caring about defending or neutralizing the player in front of them. The Pelicans players are too lackadaisical on defense. They're too wishy-washy. They're too up and down. There has to be a consistent effort to shut an opponent's offender down when you're playing defense. It has to be. There's a pride that goes into defense. You're not going to win every battle. You may not win none, but contesting should be non-negotiable. Switching should be non-negotiable. Communicating should be non-negotiable. These are all things that are so simple with winning teams that the Pelicans should utilize this more often. Don't get me wrong, that comes with coaching. There are certain laws that you have to instill in your players to make sure that anything other than the standard will not be tolerated. But at the point we are now, they should already know this. We're like 60 plus games in. They should already know this, man. They should already know this. This should be something that has been driven home since the beginning of the season. But we still fall short on this. Now, I'm not saying the Pelicans have world beaters on defense. The Trey Murphys, the Zions, the Queens, that's all subpar defenders. But Yves Missi came into the draft as a guy who can defend. And that's not working out the way you think it is. So we have to offload some of these players in order to get the players we need to man the front. Not only the front, I'm talking about some of these positions so that the Pelicans can be a switchable team. You see it out there. You see it out there. Just as much as they're making shots, if the Pelicans could have, let's say if the Pelicans last night against the Clippers was to just alter 15 shots, that would have changed the game. Just 15. Just 15. Like, the ability to know where to be. You see a lot of guys, when it comes to switching, they're out of position. They don't know where to be. They're not paying attention. They're ball watching. That's not what great defenders do. Stay on your man, take a peek. Find your man, take a peek. Don't help forget about your man. And you know what I'm saying? And the next thing you know, you got a wide open 3-point shot, or a wide open layup, or a wide open alley-oop. Defense is a very simple, playing defense, help defense is a very simple strategy. There's only two things you got to do. Watch your man and help on defense if you got a man coming into the paint. And how you help is key. Again, that's where coaching comes in. A lot of these things that the Pelicans are doing is coaching issues, whether you like it or not. This type of attention to detail, not saying that James Borrego is not teaching them this, but at some point you have to hammer it home. And if it's not being done, you have to move on to somebody else who's going to do it. And I think until they get that fixed, the Pelicans are going to be in turmoil. They just are. But the growth of Jeremiah Fears is coming. His assist numbers coming up. He's starting to look like a new player. Still attacking, still making bonehead mistakes too. But that comes with being a young player. That comes with being a young player. But he's looking a lot different. A lot different. He's starting to come into his own. Slowly but surely. He's getting better. That's big. Queen needs conditioning. Bad. This year's the year of conditioning for him. He has to start getting up and down the court faster. That trotting ain't going to cut it. It's not going to cut it. It's becoming a liability. As good as he is, his conditioning has to get right. And I'm sure that's going to come with off-season training and things like that. He missed it this year, so I give him the benefit of the doubt. But it's going to have to come at some point. Because if you're going to be a power forward in this league or a center, you have to be able to get up and down the court. I see Carlo night in and night out beat guards and shooting forwards to the rim before Derek Queen does, which is why I advocate for Carlo to be the starting center, because he's already in position. Like there's always a part of the chain that's unlinked on this team, and that's why they always falter. They gotta all be together. But it comes with practice, it comes with communication, it comes with coaching. And I don't know how you fix it. I don't. Especially if it's being hammered home. The only way is to change the players and change the mindset of the locker room. That's the only other option to fix this team. But, like I said, we don't got that many more games. So the coaching search is about to be in full flux. It's about to be in full go. They're probably already having conversations right now with guys that they're lining up. Season almost done, folks. So all our questions is about to be answered. All of them. We don't have to worry about none of that no more. But as far as Dejounte Murray goes, he changes the way this team plays. And if you're not paying attention, or if you second guessing it, you're probably a hater. He is changing the way this team plays. And it's not prohibiting the growth of Jeremiah Fears and Derek Queen, which is even more impressive. Some guys will soak on that bench and not want to play and not give it they all. You can even argue they're putting up better numbers off the bench in terms of their play by just sitting there and watching a veteran take control. Jeremiah Fears have been lights out the last few games. But that comes with an attitude and a toughness that you just can't coach. But I don't got too much more, man. I just wanted to get that out there, man. My thoughts about this winning streak, this 4-game winning streak, and this one loss. I wanted to make sure we understand what we're seeing. I also wanted to make sure that we consistently be mindful of the type of attitude it takes to win. It's only attitude. That's the only switch that hasn't been flipped in this Pelicans locker room. I'm not saying their players don't want to win. I'm saying the attitude to pay attention to detail is why they're losing. And only a coach can demand that. You have to take away the leeway to get ahead. No more grace. Get out there and perform, or we'll find somebody else that will. It's as simple as that. But I'm not going to harp on it too much, man. I appreciate y'all from rocking with me, man. I hope y'all have a great day. As always, man, thank you for watching the Pelican Sports Corner. I appreciate your likes. I appreciate your subscribe. When you hit that subscribe button. But we'll have more to come, man. We almost at the finish line. We only got a little bit more and all this, so we could speculate. We can find out who these candidates gonna be for the coaching staff. We can finally get some answers from Troy Weaver and Joe Dumars about the season, some honest answers and feedback. So it's all coming to a head. It's all about the everything we want about to pop out. Just got a little more time to run through. A little more time. And once we get this taken care of, then we can find out how serious the Pelicans are as an organization about competing. You can fake a lot of things, but you can't fake the funk once the offseason gets. We're going to find out if they're really serious about being a championship caliber team on a year-to-year basis. So, as always, man, thank you for watching the Pelican Sports Corner. I'm out.